Most high performers know they are exhausted. They know something is off, but here is what they do not know. If you feel guilty when you're not improving something, that's not ambition. That's withdrawal. And the system you are inside looks nothing like discipline. Think of it this way. Most high performers I work with think they have a burnout problem. They actually have a dependency problem disguised as growth strategy. And until you see the architecture of the system you are inside of, you will keep on mistaking exhaustion for dedication. Hi, and welcome back to this channel. I'm Vibhuti, your performance and authority trainer and coach. I believe that authority is not personality. It is nervous system training to build capacity. And that's exactly what we do together on this channel. Here is what most high performers do not realize they are inside of. You feel inadequate or uncomfortable or like something is not optimized. So you start optimizing. New system, new habit, new framework. You will get the relief for a while, but then your baseline tolerance for discomfort rises. What used to feel good will now start feeling normal. So you start needing another upgrade, another optimization, and the loop tightens. This is not growth, this is tolerance, and it works on the same neurochemical principles that any other dependency or addiction does. So let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt adequate without needing to improve something? If you can't remember, you're actually chasing relief. There is a reason this exhaustion does not resolve with rest. I will show you the neurochemical architecture in a moment. But first, you need to understand what is actually happening when you optimize. Self-optimization triggers dopamine through two pathways. One is anticipation, that this new improvement will fix me. Two is identity reinforcement. I am someone who improves. Both of these feel like progress. But here is what your brain is actually learning. Dopamine systems adapt. What once delivered a sense of progress becomes baseline. The brain recalibrates. You need more input now, more optimization to achieve the same internal state. This is not building up more motivation. This is building up more tolerance. And here is why rest does not fix it. Rest addresses depletion. But if exhaustion is driven by dopamine expectation gap, rest only resets the body, not the dependency structure. The moment you return to normal life, the inadequacy signal fires again and the loop resumes. Underneath this, there is something else that is happening. Chronic self-optimization keeps your nervous system in a low-grade threat state because the body interprets I must improve as I am insufficient. And insufficiency equals vulnerability, which challenges the purpose of your brain, that is survival. So even when you're optimizing, your brain is running a background threat protocol. You think you are building capacity. Your body thinks it's surviving. And over time, I'm someone who is constantly improving becomes load bearing. If you stop optimizing, you lose the identity. And losing the identity feels like losing yourself. So you're optimizing to avoid that identity crisis. You're not optimizing to grow. Let me show you what's actually happening inside this system. Because once you see it, you will not be able to unsee it. Where most people think they are improving, they're actually optimizing for relief. And the difference matters. Let me map it for you. Here is what is happening inside the system. Every time you optimize, your brain is generating an expectation. This will make me feel better, more capable. That expectation creates a dopamine spike before you are even implementing the thing. But the actual reward, the feeling of improvement, does not match the expectation. It never does. And over time, your brain learns this. The expectation keeps rising because your identity depends on it, but the reward flattens. You've done this enough times for your brain to know optimization delivers temporary relief, not transformation. This gap between what you expect and what you actually get is the inadequacy signal. It's not real inadequacy because you are an adequate person. You are a capable person. It's prediction error. And your brain interprets prediction error as you need to optimize more. So you do. and the gap widens. So here is what most people do not see until it is too late. You can have every system in place and still feel behind. The system is not the problem, the loop is. And there is one moment in every high performer's life when this becomes undeniable. I worked with a senior leader who had everything optimized: morning routines, decision frameworks, meeting protocols, etc. etc. All of it worked, but he was exhausted. He told me, "I don't understand. I fixed all the inefficiencies. Why do I still feel behind?" I asked him, "When was the last time you actually felt like you were enough without needing to improve something?" He looked at me for 30 seconds and then he said, "I don't think I ever have." That's the tell. When you can't remember the last time you felt adequate without feeling the need to constantly keep on improving, that's when you can tell you are chasing relief. This story is not unique. In fact, this pattern was identified 3000 years ago, before we even had words like optimization or burnout. And what they discovered then matches what neuroscience confirms now. There is an old teaching from Vedic philosophy which maps this precisely. The belief that I must become something other than what I am is called root delusion, because it assumes that you are incomplete, and incompleteness generates suffering. The learning from this: you're not incomplete. You are actually distracted from your baseline completeness by the belief that you must chase to become something else. Optimization in this framework is not progress. You will always be in this rat race till you start to accept yourself. Right now, you are in avoidance. You optimize to avoid sitting with the possibility that you might actually be enough. This isn't spiritual bypassing. This is a pattern recognition. This is what Vedic sages identified 3000 years ago. The belief in perpetual inadequacy creates a self-reinforcing loop. There is no resolution for this inadequacy inside this loop. The way out of the loop is not more optimization. It's the withdrawal of your belief from the inadequacy signal. Now, the identity shift that breaks this for you does not feel like growth. It does not look beautiful. It feels like you are giving up. But that is the signal that you are close. There is one statement that high performers say that reveals whether they are operating or addicted. Listen for it in yourself. I should be doing more. Not I want to do more or I choose to do more. I should. Should is the language of obligation. And when growth becomes obligation, it's not growth anymore. It's compulsion. So here's what I want you to sit with. The version of yourself that led from constant self-optimization believed inadequacy was fuel. The version of you emerging now understands inadequacy is not the fuel. It's just noise. You don't need to become anything else to lead well. You need to stop interpreting your baseline as insufficiency. That is recalibration. And it's the only move that breaks this loop. If this reframed something for you, subscribe to this channel. I go deeper into these patterns every week. And if you are ready to train a completely different operating system, go to the link to my program in the bio. If someone came to your mind while you were watching this, someone who is inside this loop but hasn't seen it yet, share this video with them. Thank you for watching this video and see you in the next one.